Welcome to the channel and welcome to this custom narrative game. It's Word Bearers versus the 13th. Today the 13th Fleet is under attack by the Chaos Space Marines, the insidious Word Bearers chapter. Now for those of you that don't know, my Space Marine army is a fleet-based chapter, and amongst the fleet, amongst the battle barges and destroyers, there are a number of civilian craft as well, the largest of which is the Universe Mass Transport Conveyor, the Face of the Sea. Now, Universe Mass Transport Conveyors are very, very big, among some of the largest ships that the Imperium have ever produced, hundreds of kilometers in length, and the Face of the Sea is home to over 1 million souls. And this battle takes place on the Face of the Sea. Now there's a number, the fleet is under attack, and there's battle barges are being boarded, destroyers are being boarded, the Word Bearers are all over the place, we are spread thin, and on the Face of the Sea there's a number of places that we would definitely defend, and defend with absolute violence and brutality, such as the bridge and the main plasma core. But here we come to the atmospheric processes. Now this hasn't got an overwhelming Asartes and 13th Militarum force defending it. It's got a very bespoke force because we're spread thin. So here we might lose, and if we lose the atmospheric processes, then 1 million souls will die. We've got the primary generator up this end, secondary generators, and 2 of the main core of the atmospheric processes. I want you to imagine that these pipes run off and go to another 6, 8, 10 of these processes off the table here, there and everywhere. But if these generators fall and a couple of the processes fall, then that is enough to kill 1 million souls. So what we're doing is we rolled off for deployment because we didn't know how to deploy best, and we actually got Dawn of War. And the Word Bearers are coming on this table edge. The 13th will be coming on that table edge, so we've clearly been fighting on other parts of this hangar. The ceiling is very high, very, very high. If there's any jump infantry or things teleporting in there, there's plenty of space to teleport in. And there's been fights going on and boarding actions left, right, and all over the place. But this is the area that we're going to be fighting over. This is 140 narrative, 140 power narrative game. So because we're playing narrative, it means that none of the match play restrictions are in place. You can teleport in turn 1 if you want to. You can reuse a stratagem again and again and again if you want to. None of the match play restrictions, just the core rules. And to win this game, it's quite simple. These generators are going to be 1 point each. These 2 processors 2 points each, and the primary generator 3 points. And whoever controls whoever has more points at the end of the game wins. We're not going to do First Blood or Line Breaker, it doesn't make any sense, but there'll be an extra point for Warlord. I'm looking at my opponent, Sorcerer Dave. Say hi, Sorcerer Dave.
Hi, Sorcerer Dave.
Does that make sense to you? No First Blood, no Line Breaker, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
But an extra point for, I was making it up on the fly there, extra point for Warlord.
I promised I was paying full attention.
Welcome back, how have you been?
Good, good. We've come to spread the primordial truth and chew bubblegum. And we heard you might have some bubblegum, and now you're just harassing us, and I think it's very unfair.
Well, we're all out of primordial truth, and we've got plenty of bubblegum. There is no primordial truth, there is only the Emperor.
Lies.
And his light,
the imperial lie.
His light will guide the way. Thank you for coming down with your Word Bearers. Should mention that you've got your own YouTube channel and put up battle reports, and some of them are many tens of thousands of views. Check out Sorcerer Dave YouTube channel for that sort of stuff. Plus you do Twitch streaming, video gaming, yes. Lots of stuff. Yes. Brilliant. Plus you've got a Doom t-shirt on, classic.
I thought it was very appropriate for today, really.
It is pretty appropriate, I like it. So 2 points for these ones. You can't go in here, this is impassable, this is a massive turbine, you'll get eaten, you get pushed in there I guess. 1 point for these, 3 points for the main generator there. Don't know who's going first yet, this is going to be brutal, and I have to say that because this battle for the first time takes place on the fleet itself, now I really don't want to lose this one.
I really might win this one.
There's a million souls at risk. I do story times. There's story times in the back catalogue that people can check out if they want to. I'm highly invested in the 13th Fleet, and I don't want to lose a million civilians upon the face of the sea. So, to help me win this fight, I brought along Chaplain Snow. He'll be leading from the front. I just remembered as well, shout outs, should do them, I keep forgetting them. Battle map from hotdiceminiatures.com. They're a Canada company, and all the terrain you see is from gamemat.eu. The primary generators are part of their primary atmospheric processes are part of their necropolis terrain. GameMat.eu. The generators are GameMat.eu. The walls are GameMat.eu. We've got a couple of extra crates in the back here, and these are from Cromlech. Cromlech are the guys that do the deployment zone.tv command point tokens and the deployment zone.tv objective markers, which we're not using. Oh, as for taking the objectives as well, it doesn't matter about troops, objective secured, any of that. Basically, anyone, any model in base contact with this at the end. It could be a dreadnought, it could be a Maulafine, it could be anything. Anything in base contact with one of these at the end scores it. You just have to outnumber your opponent. Oh, and we brought in another rule about summoning because it's narrative. Now, in match play games, you have to pay points to summon stuff in. Mm-hmm. In narrative, you can summon in as much as you want. Yes. Which is a bit broken because we're 140 power each at the moment. So we've decided that you're only going to be summoning from turn 3 onwards.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a big box of demons here, and if I was summoning from turn 1 onwards,
yeah, you'd have twice the amount of points as me by the end of the game. Now, to summon, you have to have your character standing still, but any of your characters, and you brought many of them, can summon. So the warp is building up and broiling away as the death toll is mounting across the fleet, and the demons are going to start appearing in turn 3 onwards.
It's leaking in from the outside, I think. Now perhaps the Gellerfield's coming down, elsewhere in the ship, some sort of battle going on for that, perhaps. And then after turn 3, the barriers are going to be gone. Yeah,
the barriers are going to be weak enough for...
the veil will be thin, and we can start plucking things from the Immaterium.
Yeah, so I really need to kill a couple of your characters before we get to that stage. We're going to be using the Beta Bolter drill as well. It might be an official rule by now, by the time this video goes up. That's it. Map by Hot Dice Miniatures, terrain by GameMat.eu. Sorcerer Dave from Channel Sorcerer Dave. The game itself, Warhammer 40k from Games Workshop. Let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is 140 power of Space Marines. I've got a battalion and a spearhead detachment. I think that's the one with all the elites in it. Basically keeping it narrative here. No fast units, no vehicles, none of that sort of stuff. No transports. It's the kind of things that you would expect to see in a shipboarding action or a ship repulsing action. We kind of bike zipping around or flyers. So lots of bodies on the ground and dreadnoughts essentially. And my warlord for the battle today will be Brother Chaplain Snow. I've given him the Iron Resolve warlord trait because his will is iron. It gives him an extra wound and he can ignore damage on a 6-up. Oh, I should also mention Ultramarines Chapter Tactics. The second company are here. So we'll be following Ultramarines Chapter Tactics for the purposes of this game. The ability to fall back and still fire. Very, very useful. I've brought along Lieutenant Karras. I'm giving him the armor Indomitus, so he's got a 2-up save instead of a 3-up save, and it can give him a 3-up invulnerable save at 1 point if he needs to. And then a Librarian, and the Librarian's got Psychic Fortress because it makes narrative sense. That's the one that you could potentially ignore mortal wounds on a 4-up, and Might of Heroes. Right, lots of infantry, 6 tactical squads, Lance Cannon, oh, on the side it's got a fist and a combi melter. This one, melter combi melter, plasma combi plasma, flamer combi flamer. Lots of tactical marines in combat squads fighting their way across the decks of the face of the sea. 3 squads of intercessors spread about the back. A unit of centurions. These are the heavy slots with hurricane bolters and grav amps. Honoured Brother Matthias is here with a twin las cannon and missile launcher loadout just for some long-range DACA, because as I looked across my list, I realised I didn't have much long-range DACA, which you wouldn't have really in necessarily a boarding action, just a couple of las cannons and this guy at the back. So we've got some long-range, but not much. and a Contemptor Mortis pattern dreadnought from the Index. So he's got, they're basically strength 7 assault cannons instead of strength 6 assault cannons. Does hit on 2s, unless he moves, then he's hitting on 3s. And of course the first company might be in a teleportarium, or they might already have their feet on the deck. I'll probably put half in a teleportarium and half already on board. I've got assault terminators, normal terminator, sorry, with an assault cannon, 2 units of assault terminators, and in both of these squads the sergeants have lightning claws because it makes sense, and at the back another unit of standard terminators with a cyclone missile launcher as well. So the first company will be deployed to help defend the atmospheric processes of the face of the sea, and Chaplain Snow is here to try and lead this force and save 1,000,000 souls. Right, let's go and check out the Word Bearers. Right, this is about 140 power of Word Bearers. Word Bearers can basically re-roll morale they get, and they show no fear. You've got a battalion, that's 6 command points, and 2 spearheads.
Yes.
So that's 10 command points in total, and the reason why you got 2 spearheads is because these are 3 greater possessed. So one of them and a demon, that's a detachment right there. I like it. I like the fact that the new models are coming in, the greater possessed models. Anyway, warlords, psychic powers, warlord traits, things like that. Really.
Okay, so warlord is this gentleman right here. He's a master of possession. I've got 2 masters of possession.
Yeah, these 2.
I couldn't find anywhere in the narrative in the book that this all comes with about like where they fit in the Legion hierarchy in general. So I don't know how many you're sort of you should have in a force. So I've decided, right, I've got 2.
Yeah, should point out that this is the master of possession model, but we're using this guy as well because it's cool.
I had him lying around and he already kind of looks like one. Yeah, so...
and you showed me you've got like a nurgling on his base here.
Yeah.
Eating the sacred texts.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
I like to think he's being cursed by Nurgle. He's got this one specific Nurgling that follows him around everywhere, making his life a misery all the time.
And we will call that Nurgling Timmy.
Timmy. All right. So we got Timmy and this guy. They're the warlord.
Yeah.
And he's got the... I forget what it's called, all the new stuff in the new book. He's got the warlord trait that lets him reroll 1s on its psychic test.
Nice.
Basically. He's all infused with dark warp power and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So as for his psychic powers, I'm looking in the book right now because I forget the names of them already. He's got Cursed Earth and Infernal Power. Cursed Earth basically allows him to buff invulnerable saves for friendly demon units nearby by +1.
Yep.
And Infernal Power allows them to re-roll hit rolls and wound rolls of 1 nearby as well.
He's a big buffer, and that will work on the demon, that will work on the Mauler Fiends, that will work on the Venom Crawler and the other Mauler Fiend, and yeah, that's a nice power.
Yep. His slightly more psychotic colleague over here, he's got the 2 of the other powers. He's got Sacrifice and Possession. These ones are the fun powers, not necessarily the best ones, but I want them anyway. Sacrifice, if I cast it, I can basically cause a mortal wound to an enemy model within 2 inches of him and feed that model to one of my friendly demons nearby, and they regain D3 wounds.
Cool.
So that's nice. And Possession, it's a big old paragraph, but I can sum it up as you cast it. You get a bonus to AP on your weapon, and if you kill an enemy infantry character, you turn him into a spawn. Or if you kill an enemy space marine, you turn him into a greater possessed.
One minute. So if you kill my librarian, my lieutenant, or Chaplain Snow, you can turn him into spawns.
Yes.
This is not going to happen.
Yes, it is.
Okay, next up, who's this guy?
Chaplain the End, he's Dark Apostle.
Okay.
We're word bearers, you don't leave home without one.
Yes.
Rerolls all failed hit rolls in melee for nearby troops. Very simple.
Demon Prince, Paramalefic Talons.
Indeed. Paramalefic Talons, doesn't have the wings. He's Markov Zinch, because you can't have undivided demon princes anymore for some reason. And he gets 1 psychic power, which is going to be Prescience.
So, which is the best one.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rerolling all hit rolls of 1.
It's actually, you add 1 to hit rolls.
Do you?
So, yeah.
Hitting on 2s, I like it. Okay, 2 units of cultists, some normal Space Marines.
Yes, so we've got cultists. I wasn't originally going to bring them, but then I thought, but basically the entire army is I've picked units that are maybe not necessarily good, but ones that fit the scenario of us boarding an enemy ship, so stuff you'd expect to see. And it's likely that we'd probably chuck a few boarding torpedoes full of cultists and send them in as the vanguard to get
chaff.
Chaff chewed up. Or possibly, the face of the sea's got a lot of civilians on it. Maybe some hidden cults that have been awoken and have uprisen to join their liberators.
That didn't happen.
They've seen the truth. They've seen through your lies.
There were no Chaos Cultists on the face of the sea. I prefer the narrative that you built in the first paragraph, which is, I can imagine hundreds of boarding torpedoes stuffed with thousands of screaming lunatics just fired at the ship.
I like to think there's a bit of both.
No, that's what happened.
A bit of both.
They boarded.
We seeded.
No.
This is how we found you. You see, this is how chaos works. A chaos uprising happens somewhere, and our sorcerers can pick it up in the warp and pinpoint it. That's how we found the fleet in the first place. You were having some problems down on the lower decks with chaos cultists, and we appeared.
What happened is, since the Galmec incident, the word bearers have been chasing after the 13th Fleet and the Penitent Forge. The Galmec incident is a narrative campaign available on deploymentzone.tv. Needless to say, we've got a beef with you guys. You've got a beef with us. No, nothing to do with cultists.
It is a very good campaign, and I highly recommend it. But I will say, this is still yet more lies from the servants of the Fourth Emperor. Don't believe a word of it.
I speak the truth.
We bear only the truth, my friends. So where were we? Right, yes. Got some Chaos Marines as well, because I know Chaos Marines are rubbish, but you've got to bring some anyway for the sake of keeping up appearances, if nothing else. So I got 10 of them.
Well, they would be here.
Yep. They got a couple of melter guns for melting through bulkheads and melting through loyalist scum as well.
Yep.
And they've got a little banner there because it looks cool. That gives them +1 leadership.
Cool.
Elsewhere, into the demon section, we've got 2 units of regular little mini possessed.
So greater possessed, mini possessed. Do greater possessed buff mini possessed?
They do, yes.
Nice.
So friendly demon legion units within X inches of them, they get +1 to strength, which will also apply to the mini possessed.
Does that apply to him as well?
Yeah, well.
Oh, okay.
So we've got 3 greater possessed. They're individual characters that can do their own thing.
Yep.
And they will be doing their own thing.
And you pointed out that these are the Galvorback models from Forge World, which are the right size and they're on the right bases. So if you don't want just the greater possessed from the box sets, and you want to add some flavour, get some Galvorback from ForgeWorld.com.
They're really, I really do recommend them. Like they are the exact same size, they've got the exact same bases, and they just look gorgeous. They're some of the best Forge World sculpts they've done, I think.
They are pretty cool. Plus, that means that if you wanted to bring 8 or 9 Greater Possessed, you've now got many Greater Possessed for the battle reports. I
chucked one of the Shadow Spear guys in as well. My Shadow Spear set arrived literally yesterday morning.
I know, you said
I painted like a mad guy.
Thank you.
To get these done for today.
Yes.
So behind them, anyway, we've got the new Obliterators. Again, 2 that I converted from Centurions and 1 of the Shadow Spear ones I managed to get done. Obliterators are bigger and nastier now.
Yeah, and you didn't want to give them marks because Word Bearers cause Mark of Chaos Undivided.
Winter's bullied me,
and
he did.
Bring in the Marcus Lanesh now.
Yeah, he told me to bring Marcus Lanesh on these guys, and he kept pestering, and I've relented.
I imagine that these have leaned slightly left of the path. And we want to see the Endless Cacophony kick off, which is basically they shoot and then they shoot again. I want to see that.
I haven't checked in with their chaplain for a while. We're getting a little bit concerned about these guys. They seem to be leaning in one direction more than the others, and we don't like it. But
so you're giving
we'll tolerate it for now. They'll have Marcus Lanesh for this one, and that means Endless Cacophony will probably happen at some point.
It'll be brilliant. It'll be a glorious thing.
Part of me is very curious just to see from an academic perspective what will happen. Cool. But I would prefer to go Undivided, but Winter's bullied me. So there we go.
It's my fault. Venom Crawler,
yeah.
Wall of Fiend, Lasher Tendrils. This guy's got a name?
Stompy. He's an accomplished jam maker, as you can see.
Yeah, lots of jam below him.
Lots of loyalist jam. Cool. He's a good fella. I like him very much. Maul of Fiend's not that great, but
Hellforged Contemptor.
Hellforged Contemptor from Forge World, yes. You may notice some World Eaters iconography on there. He has left the World Eaters because he saw the light of religion and he's joined us, by which I mean we ambushed him, threw chains on him and dragged him back to the ship, and now he fights for us.
You dragged this guy back, painted his sarcophagus a different colour, and then at the beginning of a battle, someone just pokes the on button with a stick and then runs away.
Pretty much.
He wakes up and goes nuts.
So he's got the chain claws.
Okay.
And I decided to run him with soul burners today because a little birdie told me soul burners are very, very good.
Well, we're about to find out now. 2 units of 5 Terminators.
Yep, shipboarding action. You got to bring some Terminators at least. They are basically 2 squads, and yeah, they've got a mixture of combi weapons and power fists and what have you, basically.
Cool. And the sergeants don't wear helmets because sergeants don't wear helmets.
Yeah, it's the rules.
Okay.
And someone will be like, "Oh, Terminator arm without a helmet, that's silly." The answer is it's because I like painting faces.
Okay.
Honestly. And also, you like doing the word bearer faces where they've got the writing on their faces and stuff.
Yeah.
It's chaos, it doesn't have to make sense.
So you've got 7 characters. All of these guys are characters. The greater possessed are characters. You've gone for quality over quantity for now. From turn 3 onwards, you can start summoning.
I'm guilty of spamming characters a little too much with chaos just because I love chaos characters.
Well, yeah.
You have so many to choose from and I want them all.
So I'm outnumbering you about 2 to 1 for now. But in turn 3, things are going to get a bit different. And you're definitely not going to turn anyone into a spawn. That isn't going to happen.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Let's go on to deployment. 1 minute, we've got the relic. The Dark Apostle has the cursed crow's ears, so he'll get quite nasty when he punches things. And we're deployed for this 140 power narrative custom game, and that's a bit confusing, and both me and Sorcerer Dave don't know if we've done the right thing here or not.
I figure if it's narrative, we can probably get away with almost anything.
I'd like to think so, but what's happened here is the line of sight is actually very restricted down here, and there's a lot of points to be had. So putting stuff down and just shooting each other isn't going to work. For example, right now, you've got 1, 2, 3 points, and I've got 1 point. So I can't just stay back and dakka. Now, obviously, line of sight is a bit clearer up at this end of the table, and less clear at this end of the table, but that objective is worth 3 points. So it's interesting to. We probably deployed wrong.
I already think I have.
Me too. I think I've done something horribly wrong and have probably lost the game.
I've just kind of decided, whatever, we're chaos. I'm not going to overthink it.
Yeah. One way, let's spin the narrative. They've been battling already. There's been fights going off in other parts of this ship, other parts of these hangars. And now this is the final clash for the heat exchangers, and the forces have just been charging towards each other, exchanging long-range fire. You've kept the Obliterators and your Terminators in reserve.
I have.
So I kept all of my Terminators and Chaplain Snow in reserve. So your elites are going to be teleporting in. My elites, the first company, are going to be teleporting in. And what you've done is put your Screaming Cultists and your Chaos Space Marines up here, along with the Dark Apostle.
Dark Apostle, indeed, yes.
And then that guy, the guy in chains that you dragged along with you. So that's your push. There's 30 bodies there to take the central power objective, and then you've spread out quite liberally across the line. Thoughts? What was the plan?
Basically try and hide stuff actually.
Okay.
Because there's a fair bit of line of sight blocking behind these generators and things.
Yeah.
And I want to come at you from different directions, hopefully, maybe.
Yeah. I haven't got much long range, Jack. I've got basically 4 las cannons and a missile launcher. That's all I can reach out with. The rest is 24-inch range, my entire army. So you put greater possessed and you've spread them across.
Yes,
here,
I have.
There, and everywhere.
One here, and one here.
So I put 5 tactical marines and Brother Matthias back here for fire support. He's got actually quite a good line of sight. And then there's a tactical squad with a las cannon up here, quite good line of sight. And then the rest, it gets a bit messy. Lieutenant there, Centurions, Contemptor Dreadnought, Intercessors all the way across the line, and 1 tactical squad, and I need to push forward. I can't just stand there and shoot. And then over here I've decided that my Librarian Keys, is leading 3 tactical squads to get the primary power generator, but I've got 15 models. You've got 30 models and a Dreadnought, so this might not go very well for them. So that's how we've deployed, and I'm still scratching my head. I think I've done something horribly wrong already. You think you've done something horribly wrong already, so at least we're equal on this so far. Right, we decided that we were going to roll off to see who goes first. I had 19 drops, you had 18 drops, but I dropped first, so we're just going to do a flat roll-off. No pluses, no nothing, no seizing the initiative. Whoever gets this has the initiative and goes forward in this fight. We've been fighting already, exchanging firepower. So let's roll a dice and see what happens. And you need to beat a 1. Can you beat a 1, Sorcerer Dave?
You think so?
3.
There we go.
So the Chaos Space Marines have the initiative in this battle for the energy, for the atmospheric generators on board the face of the sea. Will the Chaos Space Marines be able to kill 1 million souls, or will the 13th repel them? Let's go on to Chaos Space Marines turn 1. Here we are after the word bearer's movement phase, an aggressive push into the chamber containing the atmospheric processors, and the Terminators teleporting in just 9 inches away from the front line of the 13th. Stompy advanced forward, the Venom Crawler moved forward. He's got assault weapons, so he can move and fire. And there's the Master of Possession, ready to get off his psychic powers, his auras, to buff all these units around them. And as well as the Terminators teleporting in, the Obliterators are teleported in as well. Basically, Sorcerer Dave has committed all of his forces to deal a decisive blow in turn 1 against the 13th. The Hellforged Dreadnought has advanced. The Cultists and the Chaos Space Marines have advanced on this flank. And then you've kept a little tail of the Possessed going back in the middle, a little tail of the Possessed going back over there. There's the other Master of Possession. Slightly fearful of Terminators teleporting behind your lines, but there is still room back there. This is an all or nothing thrust. So let's go on to the psychic phase. Okay, starting off with prescience. It's just started raining quite heavily outside, so if you hear lots of clattering, that's the rain on the window pane.
Distant bolter fire.
Distant.
What it is.
I like it. Brilliant.
It's all about the immersion.
What's he casting prescience on? +1 to hit.
He's casting prescience on these obliterators over here.
Nice.
If he manages to cast it. It needs a 7.
Yep.
So no.
That's a 6. Do you want to command one, reroll that one?
I've got 10, haven't I?
You have got 10.
Okay.
Do they need it?
We're
going to find out.
Well, let's find out.
Okay, prescience goes off. So they've got +1 to their hit rolls. They're now hitting on 2s. Next psychic power, sir.
Next psychic power, I think, is going to be this gentleman here.
Yep.
And I'm going to do the +1 invulnerable save thing.
Yep.
On the obliterators.
The +1 invulnerable save is an aura ability. Once he gets it off,
of course it is.
Everything within 6 inches, the Morphine, everything with the Legion Demon keyword, the Demon Prince, him, the Possessed, the Venom Crawler, the Obliterators, everything around him will get +1 to their invulnerable save. Good. And it's a 6.
Thank you for remembering that. I've had the box all of about 12 hours.
Okay.
So I'm still new with these Demonkin rules.
Cool.
All right, so
6 to cast.
Okay, here we
This
go.
is the one that gets to reroll 1s for his psychic
He
test.
does indeed.
Nice.
So, he gets 10, so that's fine.
A pass. Anyway, that one was called Cursed Earth. Now he's going with Infernal Power, which is a 6 as well.
Infernal Power
And
is indeed infernal.
So he's now got an aura, everything within 6 inches, +1 to their invulnerable save with the Legion Demon keyword, and re-rolling hit rolls of 1, and re-rolling wound rolls of 1. What awesome psychic powers. That's the end of your psychic powers. Psychic phase. Now, let's unleash hell. Start the shooting phase. Step 1, you select a unit to fire with, selecting the Obliterators. Then immediately after selecting the unit to fire with, you roll for their flesh metal guns.
We do.
So D3 is the...
+6 for the strength.
So, strength 9.
Oh, yeah.
AP...
This needs to be quite good.
-2. And damage...
Sweet spot. And damage...
1. And then you select a target to fire at. Step 2. So, strength 9, -2, 1 damage. What do you want to fire at?
How many wounds does Centurions have?
3.
Ooh. Yeah, we'll do it anyway.
You're firing at the Centurions. Okay.
Yes.
18 shots. Hitting on 2s. Rerolling 1s because of his psychic power. Hitting on 2s because of prescience. 2s to hit. Rerolling 1s because of the Master of Possession.
Lovely.
Everything hits. Strength 9, toughness 5. Wounding on 3s.
Yep, rerolling 1s as well.
Yeah. Couple of 1s. Okay, so you got 17 wounds through at -2, 1 damage each. So the Obliterator's 2-up save becomes a 4-up save, 1 damage each, and 9 wounds to chew through. There's 1 dead. There's another dead. There's another one dead and a spare 1. Basically, you wipe out the squad with the Obliterators with ease. After the Centurions die screaming, now we have the Hellforged Contemptor Dreadnought firing his 2 Soul Burner petards at this squad here. So they're assault D3 each. Okay, so 2 D3 shots. So 3 shots, which hit on 2s. And he said any hits just cause a mortal wounds.
Yes.
So that's 3 mortal wounds. Nasty. Next up, firing the Venom Crawler, assault D3 shots each at strength 8. But because there's a Great Possess right behind him, this is strength 9. And you're firing at the Contemptor. So 2 D3 shots.
Indeed.
Nice. 5 shots, but he does hit on 4s.
And I'll burn a command point for Demon Forge.
Demon Forge, re-rolling all hits.
Yeah.
Okay. So re-rolling those 2 failed misses. Everything hits. Strength 9 versus toughness 7. Now
that's a miss because it's an assault weapon and he did advance.
He did advance?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're wounding on 3s and re-rolling all failed wounds because of Demon Forge. And there's 2 failed wounds. Okay, so 3 get through. I have a 5-up invulnerable save or a 5-up armor save. Take your pick. And I only fail 1. It does D3 damage?
Yep. Just
for 1. Okay, that could have been worse. Right, in front of the Venom Crawler, this unit of Terminators that just teleported in. There's 3 combi melters in that squad, and you're just out of range of the closest one to the Contemptor Dreadnought. So instead you're going to decide to melter some Intercessors instead. Now he's got a combi flamer, he's got a combi heavy flamer, he's just got a heavy flamer. So you're going to fire the combi part of the bolter first, because the flamer's out of range, into the Intercessors, trying to tickle off that first wound. And then you're going to melt them. So, yeah, 2 shots, hitting on 3s into the Intercessors. 1 hit and wounding on 4.
No.
You don't wound, okay. 3 melter shots. You said you weren't firing both parts, just the melters.
No.
So microwave death coming in on the Intercessors. 3s to hit, only 1 hit. And a 2 to wound, 2 to kill. Yeah, one of them just gets absolutely fragged. And I think, looking across the line, the only thing left to fire that is in range that didn't advance is this unit of Terminators here. Intercessors again? Or Tactical Marines? Or
I think Intercessors again.
What's this squad? A Combi Flame? That's a Combi Melter, Combi Plasma, Heavy Flamer.
Yeah, and
so the Heavy Flamer will be out.
Just a regular Combi Bolter as well.
Right, well, with the Bolter, Battle Bolter, Beta Bolter Drill, he's got 4 shots. Okay, so where are we starting first? With the 2 melters or the Combi Plasma or the 4 shots with her?
Let's do the Combi Plasma first.
Right, and you said you could overcharge.
I am going to overcharge
Why?
it. He's the Slanesh icon bearer, and look at the guy. Like, he's either going to kill some Intercessors and feel wonderful about that, or he's going to be burned to hot plasma death and he's going to love every minute of it.
But he's your champion, and if you get 1s, then he's going to die.
I don't think his plasma gun even has a not overcharged setting, quite frankly, this guy. So
let's pull the trigger then. Oh, both hits.
Wow, okay.
He's angry. 2s to wound.
2s to wound.
And each of these does 2 damage and will kill an Intercessor unless it can roll a 6. He took the correct option. He just sprayed hot plasma death into the Intercessors, killing 2 of them.
These dice available from not Tabletop Tactics. Whoops. Deploymentzone.tv.
Tabletop Tactics.
That's a Freudian slip for you.
They're awesome. I like Tabletop Tactics.
They are good people.
I don't watch Winter's SEO, you know, because I'm on it. So I watch a lot of Tabletop Tactics. But yeah, these dice are available from the merchandise page. Mind you, if you like Tabletop Tactics dice, go and check them out as well.
Yep.
Lawrence is a lovely person.
I have a large collection of them at home.
You know, I've fought Lawrence a number of times, and we're 3 for 3.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've won 3, he's won 3, I'm just saying that.
I can see your trophy up there that you got and he didn't, so...
Well, he did bring Grey Knights to a tournament, and he did incredibly well. Incredibly well. I did face his Grey Knights. His Grey Knights versus my Imperial Knights, and he got me down to 1 knight remaining. That's how good he is.
I think he took them to a Highlander tournament not long afterwards as well, and he won it.
With Grey Knights?
With Grey Knights,
yeah. That's how good he is.
Lawrence is scary.
He is scary.
And stands on a box.
He does. 2 melter shots coming into the Intercessors, hitting on 3, sir.
Yep.
1 hit, 2s to wound, and d6 damage. Yep, okay, you kill 3 Intercessors in that squad. I think that's the end of your shooting phase.
It is.
I would... Oh no, it's not morale yet. It's 7th edition. That's the end of your shooting phase. that was, considering that you haven't got very many guns, that was incredibly successful. You've wiped out a unit of Centurions with
I don't have very
ease.
many guns. It's just that the guns I have are concentrated within a very small area.
Yeah.
So.
Right, you can endless cacophony these guys for 2 command points and they can fire again.
I can.
But the range isn't very far, so you're probably only killing intercessors. Let's measure up. No, we just checked. He is in range of the Contemptor Dreadnought, but when you select them in the shooting phase, you roll for the guns first. So let's see what strength it is.
Yeah,
6 plus D3.
This is the way we do it, based on the way Endless Cacophony is worded and the way their guns are worded. So,
yes.
Yeah, let's see.
Well, that's a good point, because do you use the same profile that you did before, or do you re-roll every time you do the flesh metal guns?
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know.
With the new guys, I read their data slate, it says when this model is selected to shoot.
Yes.
And when we're doing this at the end of the phase again, I guess they're being selected to shoot again?
Yes.
So I think we roll it again.
That's what we think. Comments below.
Alright, so D3 plus 6 strength.
9
again.
AP.
AP 1.
Minus 1 damage. 2. Okay, so the damage made up for it. You're still hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s. So pressing's still in effect, hitting on 2s. And re-rolling 1s because of the Master of Possession. Not that you need it, everything hit. Strength 9. So you're going to be wounding on 3s. If you put veterans on these guys, this would make them even scarier.
Yeah, I thought about it, but then decided that would just be mean.
Well, thank you for being kind. 3s to wound, re-rolling those 1s because of the Master of Possession.
Kind, he says, as he hits on 2s, re-rolling 1s. Okay. No, that's right.
So 14 wounds get through at -1. Contemptor Mortis has a 3-up save, now 4-up save. Each of these is doing 2 damage, and I think it's dead. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh, yes, it is dead. Does it go kaboom? And it does, and I'm going to have to command point that because it's right in my lines, and it doesn't go kaboom. Now that is the end of the shooting phase. Sorcerer Dave is down to 6 command points left, and I've lost a considerable amount of DACA. Saying that the Word Bearer's army didn't have much shooting in, well, I was wrong. And now the 13th really doesn't have much shooting in, because you killed 2 of my most significantly DACA-y units. That is going to come back to bite me. Now we're going on to the charge phase. Already did the Overwatch. This unit of Terminators are charging this Intercessor squad. This unit of Terminators decided to charge only this Intercessor squad with the 2 guys remaining in it. Done the Overwatch. Didn't cause any damage. Which unit do you want to start with?
Let's go with these guys first.
Okay, 9-inch charge.
Nope.
That's a fail. The other one?
These gentlemen over here. No.
No command point re-rolling. Happy with that?
Because
you can get in at 50-50.
Yeah, alright, we'll go for it.
Yep.
You're tempting me here. You're tempting
Hashtag
me.
don't listen to winners. They're in.
Okay.
Chaos Terminators make them here. 2 have got swords, so 4 attacks with the swords. Hitting on 3s. 2 hit. 2 hits. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. I need 6s, which I fail, and that leaves 1 Intercessor. Then the Power Fest came in and absolutely annihilated the last remaining Intercessor with ease, and then he consolidated towards the closest enemy models, bringing this tactical squad in and this Intercessor squad into this fight. Then I piled in and I'll fight back. I've got 7 attacks here, and this squad has got 5 plus the Sergeant with the chainsword. I'm going to do it all at the same time because it all happens at... No, I'm not. Because the Lieutenant's closer to this squad than it is to the tactical squad. So the Lieutenant Karas gives these guys reroll wound rolls of 1. So 3s to hit. I get 4 hits through. I need 4s to wound and 1 wound.
I hate to interrupt you.
Yes?
But... Okay, no, never mind. I was about to say, do you want the Lieutenant to heroically intervene? But that would have happened at the end of the charge phase.
Yes, the end of the charge phase. I deliberately didn't
Ignore me!
He wasn't within 3 inches after your charge because you needed to consolidate to get closer to him. Anyway, 1 2-up save, Terminator save, which you pass, and then we go to the other squad over here now because the Captain Sergeant, he has a chainsword. He's got an extra attack. So this number of attacks, hitting on 3s. I get 4 hits through and 3 wounds through. 3 2-up saves, Sorcerer Dave. Nope, I don't scratch the paintwork of the Terminators, and that's it. The Word Bearers. Turn 1, I have no morale tests to take anywhere. You have no morale test to take anywhere. And you've wiped out the Mortis Contemptor Dreadnought, my unit of Centurions. Both of those murder, death, kills coming from just these obliterators here, which are buffed up to the max right now. And a unit of Intercessors. I've lost most of my DACA. I've got a number of Tactical Marines left and a thin blue line, but there is 20 Terminators in the Teleportarium. And Brother Chaplain Snow, will they come in this turn? Let's find out in Space Marines, turn 1. Here we are after the 13th movement phase. I'm on the back foot, dazed and confused. Only one unit of Terminators coming in because I don't know what to do with the rest. And so these Tactical Marines are pushing out of the cargo container area here. The idea is some pressure on the Chaos Cultists, some pressure on the Terminators. Of course, the squad of Intercessors and the squad of Tactical Marines have fallen back away from the Terminators. I'll still be able to shoot them because of Ultramarines chapter tactics. These Intercessors falling back as well. But the rest of this line standing still. Now, I could drop some Terminators in around the backfield to harass his lines. But I've still got Mauler Fiends and Crawlers and Terminators charging forward, and I don't know whether they're going to go forward or back yet. So I don't know if dropping them in behind is a good idea. I don't know whether dropping them here is a good idea in front of my lines, so I've kept them in my pocket. The only thing I did do is drop in one unit of Assault Terminators back there because it's a 9-inch charge to that demon, and I like killing demons. So I have... Hello!
He's doing the little sort of like...
Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro.
Okay, so yeah, it's a thin blue line. I'm worried. I'm very worried. I'm not worried. I know no fear. Let's go into the psychic phase. Librarian Keys will cast Smite, and that passes, and does 2 mortal wounds on the Terminators. One of them died. Now into the shooting phase. There's a Melter Combi Melter in this squad. The rest are rapid firing in. Here's the Melters. 1 hit, and it'll wound on a 2. It wounds. You need a 5-up Terminator Demon type save.
A not Crux Terminatus.
Not Crux Terminatus, no. You don't make the save. D6 damage. And that kills a second one. And let's do the rapid fire bolt to death. 6 shots hitting on 3s. Only 4 hits. And I'm wounding on 4s. 3 wounds get through. 3 2-up saves on your Terminators. And you pass them all. 2 dead so far. So now I'm going to spend a command point on Signs of Gilliman, which means that a tactical squad can re-roll all failed hit rolls with the Ultramarines chapter tactics, which I have. And this squad has got a Plasma Combi Plasma in it. So I'm going to overcharge and try and remove these Terminators. You're still in rapid fire. Here's the Combi, and here's the other one. And then I'll re-roll that on the Sergeant. Don't die, Sergeant. Ooh, they all hit. Phew. This is strength 7. This is strength 8 now. 2 damage. So I'm winning on 2s. Everything wounds. You need 3 5-up and vulnerable saves. You fail each one of these. Does 2 damage. Will kill a Terminator.
Wow. Made 2.
You made 2. 1 more as well, my friend. You made 3. Only one of them falls. Then the bolt shots came in at the same time. 3s to hit. Re-rolling everything. I get all the hits through. Now I need to wound. I get 4 wounds through. 4 2-up saves. And the Terminator armor stands firm. 3 Terminators so far. That's better than I imagined. Now this squad is going to fire into the cultists with bolt guns, which hit on 3s. And there's a pistol in this squad as well from the Flamer dude. I'm wounding on 3s. And I get 5 wounds through. Lots of target acquired there. Look, 6 target acquired. 5 6-up t-shirt saves.
No.
5 cultists go pop. Right, that's the left flank. Let's kill some more Terminators across to this squad that fell back, shooting at the Terminators that assaulted them. I'm hitting on 4s because I fell back. Oh, look at that, 5 hits. I'm wounding on 4s, and I'm re-rolling 1s because Lieutenant Karras is stood right there. 3 wounds get through at -1 AP, sir. 3 3-up saves.
Oh dear.
I kill a Terminator. That's not bad. And then Karras will chuck a grenade, which hits on a 3 and wounds on a 3, and that's a -1 as well.
3-up.
No, and this does D3 damage. Boom. One of them explodes. From there, across to this squad that fell back. Now I'm going to spend a command point on Wisdom of the Ancients. Honoured Brother Matthias is there, which grants him rerolls to hit rolls of 1 and all chapter units within 6 inches of him. So this squad fell back, and I'm going to fire 2 melters into the Terminators, but I'm hitting on 4s now, and they both miss. And then I'll fire the bolter guns, which are hitting on 4s because I fell back. And no 1s to reroll. Winning on 4s. 2 wounds, 2 up saves. And a tickler Terminator. Okay. This squad in front? 1 minute, I need to think. Right, I really need these Terminators dead. I think probably the best way to kill them, I've said it now, so it's going to go horribly wrong, is spending a command point again on Signs of Guilliman again for this Intercessor squad here. It's narrative, you can do that, you can spend multiple, you can play the same stratagem in every turn if you want to. It's a restriction on match play games where you can't do that. So this Intercessor squad will be re-rolling everything with their bolt rifles at point blank range into these Terminators right in front. 3s to hit. And then I'll re-roll those 4 misses there. So 9 hits get through. Now I'm winning on 4s, but I'm re-rolling 1 because Lieutenant Karras has stood next to them, teaching them how to shoot better. 4s, that's a pretty good spread. With the re-roll, that was 7 wounds at -1. Can I kill another Terminator? Or 3, please? Yes, I can kill 1 more. Right, let's spending command points like toffee. Onto this squad here, Signs of Guilliman, 1 more time. Now, I'm going to chuck the melter down into this squad and chuck a grenade into the Terminator squad right in front of me. Bolt gun death into the squad in front of me. Hopefully that's enough to kill some Terminators. I've said it again, which means it isn't. I'll fire a las cannon into the Mauler Fiend. Let's start off with the las cannon into the Mauler Fiend. 3s to hit and 3s to wound. And because of your Cursed Earth, you have a 4-up and vulnerable save.
I do. Let's see if it was actually worth it. No.
No. Do you want a command point reroll?
No. I love Stompy, but not that much.
You want to keep your stratagems alive for other treats later on, huh?
Yes.
D6 damage for 3 damage. I like that. I love Stompy, but not that much.
I would do anything for Stompy, but I won't do that.
Let's put a melter gun into the Terminators. What did I get? A reroll with Signs of Guilliman. That's a hit. Wounds on a 2. That's a wound. You need a 5-up invulnerable save on your Terminator, sir. That went off the table. That was a good catch.
There we go.
You make it. Okay. Chuck a grenade, which hits and doesn't wound. Oh no, I'm within 6 inches of the Lieutenant, which does wound. -1 to your save now. D3 damage. Crack grenade. You make that save. 2 bolt guns. This isn't going well. 1 hit so far. 3 hits. 4s to wound. Rerolling the 1s. 2 wounds. If you could roll Snake Eyes now, I'd very much appreciate it. I'd consider it.
I defy you, Port of the Corpse God.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. You do defy.
Oh, I do,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, you do. I wish you didn't.
Sorry. I keep forgetting that normal bolt guns don't have -1. I'm
No.
so used to Intercessors.
Yeah. Now I'm running out of gun and there's still 2 Terminators alive in front of me. And I wanted to fire other guns up the table at Stompy. But there's 2 Terminators right in front of me. So I guess what's going to happen is Brother Matthias is going to have to finish them off. Yeah, let's do 2 twin-linked las cannons and a missile launcher into the Terminators. Here's the las. Both hit and they'll wound on 2s. And I'm going to command point there. Oh no, 1 wound, 1 5-up invulnerable save, please. Which you make. Missile launcher. Hits. Doesn't wound. Matthias, what are you doing to me? Right, this squad here into them. I'm going to do the bolt guns first because you might pull from the front and therefore I won't be in rapid fire range either if I use the las cannon first. That's re-rolling the 1s because of Wisdom of the Ancients. I need 4s. And I get 2 wounds. This time I need you to roll Snake Eyes. Please. No. And then las cannon, which hits and wounds. minus 5 up and vulnerable save.
Okay.
No,
Nope.
D6 damage. Okay, 1 just explodes under the power of a las cannon. Okay, that's the end of my shooting phase. I've killed 4 Terminators, tickled a couple more, and tickled some cultists over there, and hurt Stompy, and that's it. That could have been better. Now we're going to charge. This unit of Terminators back here are going demon hunting. I need a 9. That's a 3. That's the end of that.
Command
Charge
points?
is, there's no point. Not with a 3. Now
You could re-roll both.
I could re-roll both, but...
You know you want to.
no, I really
You know
don't.
you want to.
No.
Listen to my voice.
You've got morale to take. I know there's a charge phase coming up. Actually, I think I'm going to charge this squad into them. You got a heavy flamer, right?
Indeed.
But I got a power fist on my sergeant. So I think I want to charge her, because otherwise you're going to come charging in. Their leadership 9. You lost 4. You're going to pass on a 5 up anyway with Unleash or No Word Bearers. So yeah, you can heavy flame me. I'm going to charge in on this Terminator. Try and punch you with a power fist. So number of auto hits with a heavy flamer is 4, and this will wound on 3s for 3 wounds, and it's -1, so I need 4 up saves, and 2 of them die, and then I charge in and make the charge. And we jump down here. Let's fight. 3s to hit with the normal Marines, no, and 4s to hit with a power fist. 1 hit. 2s to wound. It wounds. 5 up and vulnerable save. You fail it. D3 damage. And the sergeant comes charging forward and smashes him down. At least I made 1 charge and killed 1 unit. Morale on these guys. You've left the champion in there. So if you rolled a 6, you'll still pass. You're okay. You're still okay.
There you go.
And then word bearers. You lost 5 in this squad. I don't know what their leadership is. And do they have... that word bearer re-rolling.
They can re-roll, yes.
Okay. Let's see what you get.
You got a 5.
5 plus 5 is 10. You're probably losing some. 5 plus 5 is 10.
Dice gods have made their mind up on that one.
So over here, only the cultist champion is left alive in that squad. The ex-commissar, after the other cultists flee, after feeling the taste of mass reactive rounds from the 13th. And that is the end of Space Marines. Turn 1, I've killed some Terminators. I've put some pressure in the lines, but that's it. At least all of the word bearers are deployed on this battle grid. Let's find out what they do in Chaos Space Marines. Turn 2. This is the end of the word bearers movement phase. They're splitting off in all directions to deal with the threats all around them, having a jolly good time. We've got the Chaos Space Marines coming in for these tactical Marines and the Terminators coming for these tactical Marines. Cultists doing the cultist thing, which is holding back, and the obliterators standing up on that terrain piece on the pipe so that they can have better lines of arc. Both of the demon engines running straight for the castle and the backfield towards Lieutenant Karras and the intercessors and the tactical marines. These spawn and the other greater possessed and the master of possession slightly out of position. They've basically spent the game so far going around the objectives, but at least there is some footprint for the word bearers next to the objectives, and we have demons and possessed and dreadnoughts and the other master of possession coming back for the Terminators. Let's go on to the psychic phase. The demon prince is casting prescience on the obliterators one more time. Need a 7. And that's perils.
That's a perils. Very
Do you
good.
want to spell a command point?
Sure.
You have 5 left, or 6 left.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's going to pass even if you roll a 1. So it passes, and no perils of the warp. Now the second Master of Possession casting Curse Staff. You need a 6. And that passes, and a 6 for Infernal Power as well.
Very nice.
And that passes. So that's that +1 in Bun or a buff, and the reroll hit rolls of 1 to wound. To hits and to wounds. This Master of Possession is now in smite range if you want to smite.
I will, because he doesn't have any other useful powers at this point.
Yep.
So
Need a 5. And that's a super smite for D6 mortal wounds on the Terminators.
The warp is strong with me today.
That's what you say, and when I'm thinking when it rains it pours.
Okay.
And you kill a Terminator. Right, now we're starting off the shooting phase. More shots coming in, after the psychic powers, more shots coming in at the Terminators here. Starting off with the Soul Burners on the Hellforged Dreadnought.
2d3 shots.
For Snake Eyes, so 2 shots.
Okay, and any hits will be mortal wounds.
Yep.
Hit on 2s, 1 hit.
Any mortal wound on the Terminator. You'll notice I took away the guy with the claws, the sergeant, because I think I'm going to need as many invulnerable saves as I can get once this fight starts fighting. Bolt pistol fire flickered out onto the Terminators as well, but they locked their storm shields together and made their saves. Now we're coming over here to the Chaos Terminators. Now, particularly, you want to charge this unit, essentially, so you're going to shoot the other unit. There's a Heavy Flamer coming in first for D6 auto hits, for 3 auto hits, and this will wound on 3s. It's strength 5 versus toughness 4. And it's AP -1, so my 3-up save becomes a 4-up. And one of the Marines dies. And then you've got a combi melter in this one. What are you doing with this?
I'll fire both halves of it.
Both one?
Might
Okay.
as well.
So the melter will hit on a 4 because you're doing both profiles.
Yep. Which
and it
does.
hits anyway. Kills on the 2.
Lovely.
That's 2 dead. Was that a 1?
That was a 3.
And then 2 shots with the combi part hitting on 4s.
Yep.
And they miss. Right now it looks like there's 3 left in that tactical squad. Now you're firing 2 pistols and a melter into this tactical squad, but holding your fingers off the trigger into firing the remaining shots at this squad here because it'll shorten your charge. So far there's only 2 pistols and a melter that can see these remaining 3 tactical Marines. So let's fire the melter. It hits on a 3.
Showing some remarkable restraint, these guys, but they do have the Dark Apostle breathing down their necks. So okay, so melter.
Which misses. 2 pistols now? Or are you thinking command points?
Nah.
And
everything
all the shots.
They're a little distracted with all the screaming and charging, I think.
Yeah, well,
firing enthusiastically into the air.
Well, the Dark Apostle's telling half of them not to shoot this squad. Maybe the orders were confused, and all they're hearing is don't shoot, don't shoot, don't shoot. So they decided not to. And the shots that did fire go wide. So that's the Terminators, that's the Chaos Space Marines. What are we firing next, sir? Flesh metal guns on the Obliterators. Let's see what profile they've got. Strength 6+. 1 is 7. AP is -2, and damage is -2. So after you've selected a weapon and a unit to shoot, then you select the target. So 2 Obliterators are firing at the Intercessors here because they're damaged 2 weapons, and each failed save will kill 1. The one on the left can see back to the Terminators, but we're firing the 12 shots into the Intercessors first, hitting on 2s because of prescience. Nasty. That was 9 hits, wounding on 3s now. 5 wounds get through at -2, so 5-up saves, each failed save, dead Intercessor, so 4 of them die. Now 6 shots back at the Terminators, hitting on 2s. Nice, everything hits, and wounding on 3s. Everything wounds. I need 3-up invulnerable saves. Each failed save kills a Terminator. 1 dead Terminator. From one chunk of gibbering obsessed demons to this gibbering obsessed demon engine, firing in at this unit of 3 Intercessors here. 2d3 shots. For 3 shots, it's hitting on 4s. And it's strength 8. So it's wounding on 2s. 1 wound. And it's -2, so I need a 5, which I make. Wow. And that's the end of the shooting phase. Unfortunately for me, it was much less devastating than last time. You're not going to do that endless cacophony thing again? Got 5 command points left. You can fire those Obliterators again, sir. So far, you've killed some Tactical Marines and some Intercessors. Oh, and 2 Terminators.
I think I'm going to keep them in my pocket for when the rest of the Terminators arrive.
I like it. So you being tactical?
Trying to.
Here we are after the charge phase, and that was exciting. Multiple charges across the line, and things happened. These Chaos Space Marines just got in here after losing 1, because there's a Flamer Combi Flamer in that squad. And then the Terminators, which were there, charged the squad with the Plasma Combi Plasma. We normally don't do Overwatch, and you were my witness. I overcharged the Plasma because I thought they were dead anyway, because they're getting charged by Terminators. I got 2 6s, and then I killed you.
Yeah, I did. That's what I expect from my Terminators, not this rolling 3-5 up invulnerable saves nonsense from earlier. That's quite out of character for them.
So you charged into lots of plasma fire, and I brought down the Terminators, so that was quite lucky of me. However, we have a Venom Crawler hitting the Intercessors. We have, I forget his name. Stompy going into these Tactical Marines. That required a command point reroll to get them there as well. You're down to 4 left. And over here, Terminators, Greater Possessed, Little Possessed, and the Master of Possession. Lots of Possessed is going on back there into the Terminators. Now you're aware that I have 3 command points in my hand and I can pay to interrupt. So we're going to start with your Demon.
We are.
Yes, and he's got 7 attacks with a pair of Malefic Talons, and he hits on 2s.
Here we go. Rerolling 1s as well, but not that we need
Everything hits. Now, normally, he's strength 7. There's a Greater Possess there, which adds +1 strength to Legion Demon keywords. He's a Legion Demon keyword, so he's now strength 8.
Yes.
With his Talons, so he's winning on 2s.
And rerolling 1s because of the Infernal Power, I think it was called.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll remember these names eventually.
Yes. The one that allows you to reroll hit rolls of 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. And that is 6 got through.
Yeah.
Now, these are -2, 2 damage each. I have lock my Storm Shields together, 3 up invulnerable save, and every failed save is a dead Terminator. And 2 Terminators fall, 1 is left alive. Now, do I command point that? Yes, I do.
He stands firm.
So there's 2 Terminators remaining. I've spent my last 2 command points to interrupt. He's your Warlord, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hit him with 2 Thunderhammers.
Go for it.
4s to hit. Come on, brothers. 3 hits get through. This will wound you on 2s. 3 wounds get through at -3, 3 damage each. Does he have Residual Corruption?
He has a 5+ invulnerable save.
Which becomes a 4-up invulnerable save with the psychic power that you got off.
I don't believe so, because he isn't a demon.
Ah, okay. So 3 5-up invulnerable saves to keep your Warlord alive.
I'll make 2 of them.
Can I cut the head off the snake? You make none of them. Now, you have 4 command points left. And it's narrative. You can start spending them like toffee. Or is that Slay the Warlord?
I'm going to give you Slay the Warlord for that.
Really?
I don't think he's worth saving.
Why?
I think this Demon Prince here is just going to watch him get squished to a pulp and laugh maniacally.
Brilliant. Demons come charging in. The Terminators lock shields, swing their hammers back and take out the Master of Possession. And now the Greater Possessed is going to attack. And finally with Remembered Death to the False Emperor, which might have had an effect in previous game turns. But it's happening now. So he's got 5 attacks?
He does, yes.
Cool. And he's sitting on 3s.
Yep.
Or does it 2s?
It's 2s actually,
Is
yeah.
it?
No, weapon skill 2+ apparently.
He's rerolling 1s because there's a demon right behind him.
Yep. I'm genuinely curious now to know how many times we forgot Death of the False Emperor would have happened.
I'm
sure someone with a lot of time in the comments will tell us.
I'm saying that no matter how many Death of the False Emperors you've got, that these brave heroes still manage to take out your Master of Possession.
I think that's fair enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
it'll help me sleep better at night.
You're on that one.
4 hits. These are wound on 3s.
Okay. 3 wounds.
No re-rolling 1s because it killed your Master of Possession. Sorry, bit of salt there.
It's alright, I brought a spare.
Yes, that's true. 3 up invulnerable saves. I failed 2. It does D3 damage a time, right?
It does.
So I think their time might be up. First one doesn't die. Second one kills him. So there is 1 left alive, defying your charge. But now the Possessed will strike. Right, Possessed, you roll a d3, and that's the number of attacks the whole unit has. Let's see how angry they are. They're moderately angry. 1 minute. There was 2 Death to the False Emperors with the Great Possessed, so 2 more hits, which hit on 2s.
We finally remembered, guys. Sorry.
They both hit. Okay, alright. Wound on 3s. Any?
1 wound.
1 wound. 3 up and run. See, that's what the dice gods do.
Yeah.
When you forget something, they say no, which is why I choose to believe that he would have survived up to this phase with all the Death of the False Emperors. Right, these guys have 10 attacks. Mini Possessed. They hit on 2s?
3s.
3s, okay. And you can re-roll the 1 because there's a demon yelling at them.
Okay, it didn't help though.
There's a Death to the False Emperor.
There is! Oh my god! Exciting! There we go.
Which doesn't in turn generate further hits.
No.
Baby Possessed are wounding on 3s now. How many is that?
That's
5?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
-2, 1 damage each. So basically I need my Storm Shield saves. Hey, that Terminator has finally been dragged down, but they achieved their mission. They slayed the enemy warlord, slew. From this ruckus in the backfield, across to the Venom Crawler. So Spider Thing. How many attacks does the Spider Thing have?
It has 4.
Right.
But +2 because it has the Soul Flare Tendrils. That doesn't really rhyme, never mind.
Okay.
We'll do the Soul Flare Tendrils
Demon
first.
Forging or just swinging away? 4 left.
I will Demon Forge.
You will Demon Forge it. Hashtag don't listen to Winters.
Alright.
Demon Forge him.
Yeah, I want to Demon Forge Stompy.
Not
so
this one.
We'll leave this one for now.
Okay, forced to hit with his what's this? 2 hits. You got 2 dice. What's that?
2 for the tendrils.
Right, the tendrils. Right. They both hit.
They do.
Wound on 3s. 1 wound. AP minus.
AP -2.
2 damage.
Yeah.
I survive.
Very good.
And then you hit me with the stabby bits, not the tenderly bits.
Big stabby bit. The eviscerating claws, they're called.
Sounds painful. Forced to hit.
Yeah.
3 hits. That's not bad. Strength 8.
Strength 9. Actually.
Strength 9.
Yeah.
They are very eviscerating. 2s to wound. Maybe not. 1 wound gets through. Minus.
-3.
-3. 6. Nope. How much?
3 damage.
3 damage. Okay, you kill 1. Oh, you said at the start of that combat, sorry, we rushed through that a little bit. What you were going to do, you have killed him, but when you selected him to fight, you're going to pile into the closest model and also engage this second squad here.
Yes.
Which you can do, because you get close to the closest model, killed an intercessor, have locked up both of these squads. Are we coming across to Stompy now?
Yes.
Okay, Stompy's going to re-roll everything to hit and to wound, because you're spending your command point on Demon Forge. So first we're going to start off with the Mauler Fists. And these hit on 4s. Right, Fists hitting on 4s. And re-rolling. And this is strength 12 right now, so you're wounding on 2s. And that's all 3 get through. I need 6 up saves. Nope, you pound 3 of them to dust. And now the last...
To jam. That's what he does.
Okay. And then 7 attacks with the tendrils hitting on 4s. And re-rolling because of Demon Forge. Nice. Strength 7, so you're winning on 3s and re-rolling with Demon Forge. And these are -2, 2 damage each. They're good Primaris killers. I need 5s. No, Stompy turns that entire tactical squad to jam. Then he consolidates forward and treads on that guy's gun, locking up the tactical squad right in front of him. Now the last combat left are the Chaos Space Marines versus the Tactical Marines. First we're going to pile in. Right, 8 attacks coming in first, because there's a bunch of chainswords in there, hitting on 3s. Death of the False Emperor.
Ooh!
And re-rolling the hit because of the Dark Apostle. Nice.
There we go.
And then wounding on 4s with those chainswords. And you get quite a few through. Is that 6?
It is.
6 rep saves. And they kill 3. And now the Power Fist strikes. 2 attacks. Hitting on 4s. Rerolling the hit because of the Dark Apostle. But not the 3.
Not the 3, indeed. Who
misses. Okay, you killed 3. And that's all the charging units. So now it's my time to fight back. I'm hitting on 3s. 2 hits. And I'm wounding on 4s. 1 wound on your Chaos Space Marine, sir. I kill 1.
Yay!
Right, from this fight we came over here to the Spider Tank, and I've done the normal attacks against the Spider Tank, and now the Power Fist will strike. I need 4s to hit. They both hit. 3s to wound. They both wound. 5 up and vulnerable saves on your Venom Crawler. And you failed the saves. 2d3 damage. That was unexpected. 3 damage instead of 6. That was more expected. Then we're going to pile in with these Tactical Marines over here. Tactical Marines piled in and put a wound back on Stompy. And that is the end of turn 2. Now, looking across the line, I don't think I have any morale to take because the units that you really hurt, you wiped out. And my sergeants are all leadership 9 because of Ultramarines chapter tactics. But everything that dropped in the backfield to target you has died. And all I've got left is some tactical Marines stood around here, bravely holding out against the Chaos Space Marines. At least some managed to kill the Terminators when they come charging in. And then Demon Engines engaging the tactical Marines and Intercessors over here. Lieutenant Cassius is looking a bit exposed, and honoured brother Matthias is eyeing up a missile launcher las cannon shot point blank range at this Demon Engine stood right in front of him. However, I have got 15 Terminators in my pocket. And brother Chaplain Snow, I think it's about time I brought them in. So let's go to Space Marines. Turn 2. Here we are after the 13th movement phase, and that took an incredibly long time. I'm sorry, Sorcerer Dave.
It's fine. We've got all the time in the world.
Here we are many hours later. The squad of tactical Marines that were engaged with the player Chaos Space Marines have fallen back. This squad's got a Melter Combi Melter in, and I'm now in 12-inch range of the Obliterators. This squad Plasma Combi Plasma. I stood still because of the beat the bolt discipline rule. Don't know whether to fire at the Obliterators or into the Chaos Space Marines. That's my only pressure over here. It looks like you're going to get this 3-point objective. Now, I've got Obliterators. They're the most daiquiri thing in your army. Need to hurt them. So the Melter, Combi Melter. This squad falling back from the Venom Crawler. There's a Melter. Can't get the las cannon around that large line of sight blocking terrain piece though, so it won't be firing at them. And this squad fell back. So that's some shots into them. And some shots into this, and then I'm going to charge them with a unit of 5 Hammonators coming in this way. Now the last shots I can put into the Obliterators are over here. I've dropped in Snow and the 2 units of 10 normal Terminators. There's a Cyclone missile launcher there, 36-inch range. It is heavy though, and if I can reach out and smash into these guys, maybe I could kill more than one, maybe. Which kind of leaves this Mauler Fiend, what's it called? Mauler Fiend kind of leaves that Mauler Fiend a bit open. It's a 9-inch charge from those Terminators, 9-inch charge from these Terminators. Essentially what I'm saying here is I need to kill both Demon Engines and the Obliterators to stand a chance. Then I would have pushed you back quite a bit and established a bit of a beachhead. If that doesn't happen, I'm in big trouble. So yeah, let's see what happens as we go into the psychic phase. Let's start over here with my librarian, who's going to cast Smite. And it passes and does 3 mortal wounds. Sorcerer Dave taking away melter guns there, leaving the guys with chainswords left because he senses a charge coming up. There will be a charge coming up. Librarian Keys is going to cast Might of Heroes on himself, which passes. That gives him an extra toughness, strength and attack. Right, now onto this squad. Let's fire the Melter Combi Melter back at the Obliterators and chuck a grenade this way. Let's throw the grenade, which misses. Okay, Melter Combi Melter at the Obliterators. Both hit. They're toughness 5 now though, so I need 3s to wound. No wounds. Right, that could have been better. We're on to the Plasma Combi Plasma squad. Now, I'm not in rapid fire range, so if I have a charge, I'm going to need both of these single shot weapons to hit and to wound, and for Sorcerer Dave to fail his saves just to kill one. So I don't think I'll chuck the plasma that way. Instead, I won't overcharge it. I'll just rapid fire it this way into this squad here. But first, I'll chuck a grenade from that squad into the Chaos Space Marines. And the grenade misses. Right, let's do the non-overcharged plasma. 3s, 3 hits, and strength 7 means 3s to wound. 3 wounds at -3 on the Chaos Space Marines. And that was
4, but nothing anyway.
So the smite killed 3 of them. That was 3 more. Now rapid fire death. 3s to hit and 4s to wound. 2 more wounds on your Chaos Space Marines. Only 2 left there. And they stand firm, ready to receive the charge from Librarian Keys. Okay, let's try and kill some Obliterators. Onto this squad that fell back, and chuck a grenade at the Venom Crawler, shoot a las cannon at the Venom Crawler, and the Melter is going to flick out and try and hit those Obliterators, but I need a 4, which misses. Okay, let's chuck the grenade on a 4, which misses, and the las cannon, which hits. Wounds on a 3. Wounds, I wound your Venom Crawler, at least something got through. 5 of them vulnerable save.
No.
No, D6 damage for 4. Can't rely on the Terminators for the charge. But yes, I can. So Lieutenant Karras will chuck a grenade and I'll shoot the Intercessors that fell back into the Obliterators. They're hitting on 4s. I get 4 hits through, but they're toughness 5, so I'm winning on 5s. Bolt rifle rounds, causing 1 wound at -1 on your Obliterators.
'Tis but a scratch.
No.
It is a scratch.
It is a scratch. Okay, one of them drops from 4 wounds to an owie scratch to 3 wounds left. Let's chuck a grenade, which hits and doesn't wound. Moving along the line, let's chuck a grenade and rapid fire into Stompy. And can that las cannon, which fell back, see the... No, it can't. Okay, so shooting everything at Stompy. Las cannon, 4s. Nope, grenade, 4s. Nope, oh dear. Then the bolt gunfire did nothing. So now we're on to Honoured Brother Matthias, who can see the Obliterators. Last time he whiffed all of his shots. This time I need this Ancient, this Honoured Brother, to pull through. So the 2 twin-linked las cannons, or the twin-linked las cannon, 1 hit, 1 wound, 1 5-up invulnerable save on your Obliterator, sir. The scratchy one who had an ouchie.
For the Dark Gods! Yes!
The Dark Gods protect. Missile launcher. Misses. Matthias is clearly distracted having this demon engine right in front of him. Right across to the Terminators. Now, with bolted discipline rule, I'm firing 16 shots into these possessed here. I'm going to put the assault cannon into Stompy, because I haven't even scratched him yet. But here's the bolters. Storm bolters are hitting on 3s. 10 hits, wounding on 4s. 7 wounds, 7 3-up saves. Die, heretic, die. 3 of them do. Tell a lie, only one of them does, because they've got 2 wounds each. Okay, assault cannon into Stompy. Hits on 4s because it's a heavy weapon. 4 hits get through, not bad shooting. But I need 5s to wound because it's strength 6. No wounds. Okay.
His hide is thick.
His hide is very thick. Brother Chaplain Snow, firing in at the possessed with his Stormbolter. He hits on 3s. Hits on 2s in close combat, but 3s shooting. 4s to wound. 2 wounds from Snow. 2 3-up saves. One of them's already wounded, and he cripples him, takes off that last wound, kills a possessed. Now we're going to go to this Terminator squad. I'm going to do the rapid fire guns into the possessed and 2 missile launchers from the Cyclone up into the Obliterators. These will hit on 4s, the missiles. 1 hits and doesn't wound. Then the Stormbolters from the Terminators fired in, causing 11 wounds. 11 3-up saves. And that's the end of the shooting phase. Haven't killed the possessed, or Stompy, or the Venom Crawler. I have severely hurt the Chaos Space Marines over here. And the Obliterators will be free to shoot again next turn. Now we're going to do the Overwatch in a second. But let's try and get all these charges off, because I've got a lot of 9-inch charges. So starting with the Terminators, they don't make in. And then this unit of Terminators to try and rescue Matthias into Stompy. They don't make it in. The Hammonators into the Venom Crawler. They make it in. Then Lieutenant Karras charged through the gap as well. Over here with my Librarian into the Chaos Space Marines. He's in, and I'm going to charge this tactical squad in there as well for elevated wounds. And they'll make it in. So the Tactical Marines and the Librarian make it in without taking any damage. The Assault Terminators, one of them took a wound from the Venom Crawler as they charged in. That's it for the assaults. I've just measured up. Snow is 12 inches away from this demon engine. And I'll try and make the charge. No. Right, let's go on to the fight phase. I'm aware that you've got 3 command points left and can interrupt, but I think the Storm Shields are going to hold firm over here. So I'm going to start off with my Librarian, because I don't want you interrupting with your champion and the Power Fist and smashing him. Librarians normally have 3 attacks, but I got off Might of Heroes, so I've got 4 attacks. And I'm hitting on 3s with a Force Axe. Only hit twice. It is strength 6 now. And I wound both times. It's at -2 AP.
One saved, one
One
failed.
save. And the sergeant is left alive. Now, you could pay to interrupt before the tactical marines punch you.
Absolutely not.
No? Okay, let's continue. Hitting on 3s. Need to kill him. Don't want my librarian to die. Forced to wound. 3 wounds get through. Will these tactical squads save the librarian?
Yeah.
Yes, they have. And that's all the Chaos Marines over here. Died. The tactical marines consolidate towards the closest enemy unit, which is the Dark Apostle here. I think he's thinking of changing his religion.
Yeah, he's rethinking every single life decision up to this point right now.
Maybe he'll start screaming for the Emperor in a second. Right, we're over here to the Space Marine Assault Terminators attacking the Venom Crawler. 2 attacks each, and there are 4 Thunderhammers here. So that's 8 attacks with the Thunderhammers. Would be hitting on 3s, but hitting on 4s because it's unwieldy. Only 2 hits got through. Strength 8, toughness 7. 2 wounds, however. He's got 3 wounds left. This does a flat 3 damage. So you need to make both 5-up and vulnerable saves to keep the crawler alive.
Well, let's see what the gods think.
The gods say yes. He's still alive. Oh no.
No,
sorry,
he's not.
yeah, 3 damage. He's dead. Sorry, I was looking through the camera.
Right.
Now these things blow up on 5s.
They do indeed.
I'd really like you not to blow up, please. See what the gods think.
No.
The dice gods say no. He just crumples. And the Terminators consolidate forward, and there were no assaults over here. Chaplain Snow and the Terminators hold firm for now, dackering away with all their Storm Bolter rounds. I managed to destroy the Venom Crawler. I haven't hurt the Demon Engine over here or the Obliterators. Did wipe out the squad of Chaos Space Marines though. However, that is the end of Space Marines turn 2. These guys, have they got leadership tests to take? Oh, there's the Dark Apostle, the dude with them, so they're going to be fine, right? You only lost 2.
I only lost 2, so yeah, they would be fine anyway.
They're fine. Screaming, possessed. They don't mind if some of them around them die. So the battle lines have been drawn. Stompy is deep into the atmospheric processing chamber. And then there is a no man's land between the 13th and the Word Bearers. I have pushed them back. There are some cultists, some obliterators, and some units somewhat out of position now. So let's find out what the Word Bearers can do in turn 3. Here we are after the Word Bearer's movement phase. The Dark Apostle has stood still. Now we'll get back to him in a second. The cultists are pressing forward, singing praises of Lorgar, their glorious Primarch, and the Obliterators have a choice field of fire to lots and lots of targets around them. Meanwhile, we have other units moving forward. The Demon advancing, Greater Demon advancing, Greater Possessed advancing, the Hell Brute, not the Hell Brute, the Hellforged Contemptor Dreadnought didn't advance. Down here, the Demon Engine is exactly where he wants to be. So essentially the Legion are adjusting their position and charging through the atmospheric processing plants. Now, you're spending a command point on Dark Pact, and in the movement phase, instead of moving, the Dark Apostle is going to summon, right?
He is.
Is it Dark Pact?
It is Dark Pact.
Right, so you roll 3d6 for summoning, and you can re-roll any of these dice.
Yes, I can, and I won't suffer any mortal wounds for doubles or triples.
Nice, okay.
Because we're word bearers, we know how to do this. We're professionals. You don't now watch me roll triple ones.
Yes.
Okay, we have...
Right, I don't know if you need to re-roll any of those dice.
I'm going to re-roll that too.
Yeah.
Because why not? Dice gods were pretty firm on that one.
And the fabric of reality rips open, and a massive squad of bloodletters deploy on the battle grid. Now, you had enough power level to drop 30 in, but you've only got 23.
Yeah,
so
that's all I have in my box.
We've dropped all 23 in. There's a musician in there, so it's +1 for their charge. That'd be an 8-inch charge into all these tactical marines. Plus you've got a banner, and suddenly the word bearer is no longer alone and has converted straight back to the book of Lorgar. Right, let's go on to the psychic phase. Okay, the Demon Prince casting Prescience on the Obliterators one more time.
Yep.
That passes, and the Master of Possession casting Smite. And that passes D3 mortal wounds. It's going to hit this squad here, we worked out.
That'd be nice if I can kill all 3. No.
And you just kill 1. And now we're on to the shusting phase. The Contemptor casting is firing his soul burners again, one more time. I'm going to go at these Terminators that have rudely interrupted the party. Number of shots.
2d3.
4, 5 shots. Hitting on 2s. And any hits do mortal wounds.
1s as well.
Oh yeah, there's a Demon Prince right next to him. This is going to sting, isn't it? Reroll those 2 1s. Yeah, 2.5 Terminators fall. So we're part way into the shooting phase. Bolt pistol over here did nothing. And then the cultists and some small arms flickered out. 2 in this Space Marine squad died, leaving the sergeant with his combi melter. And over here, a couple in this squad died, leaving the sergeant with his combi melter. And that's it for the shooting, except for the obliterators. So let's roll up and see what happens with the flesh metal guns this turn. So strength 6 plus strength 9. Ooh. AP -3.
Okay.
Damage 2. That's pretty brutal.
Virtually perfect.
Right, coming around this side, it's strength 9, -3, 2 damage each. You're firing everything at the Hammonators. They're hitting on 2s because they're prescient stuff, and they're re-rolling 1s because there's a Demon Prince stood next to them. This could sting.
Okay. Just the 1-1.
Everything hits. Right, wounding on 2s. It's like mini las cannons at strength 9. That's 17 wounds. I basically need to make a bunch of 3-up invulnerable saves because each of these does 2 damage and kills a Terminator. Right, I'm going to have to do this 4 at a time starting off with because I've got 4 shields. So, 1's dead. 3 at a time. 3 at a time. Really? 3 at a time? Really?
The Emperor protects.
The Emperor does protect. Only 2 Terminators die. And now we're doing it all again because you're spending your last 2 command points on endless cacophony. And we think, as said this earlier, we think we need to roll every time you do your flesh metal guns. So strength 7 this time. AP -2 this time. And damage? Damage 2. Now that's the critical one.
You say that.
2s to hit, re-rolling those 4 1s. Everything hit again. This surely should kill them. This is 36 shots. Wounding on 3s. And there's a couple of 1s and 2s. Right, so 3-up invulnerable saves. Each one kills a Terminator. 1 dead Terminator. 2 dead Terminators. And then all of these. And that's the squad. And that is the end of the shooting phase. Losing some Terminators, losing some troops. Now we've got mini charges coming on. Mauler Fiend is going to go into a tactical squad over here, and that's going to be auto in. Shall we roll the 8 to see if you make it in here? There is a combi flamer in that squad, but I'll be out of range because you're more than 9 inches away. We'll do the Overwatch in a second, but let's see if you can make your 8, sir.
Well, I'd like to sort of declare charges against everybody here, really. So.
Okay.
We'll see what we get.
Let's see if the Dark God provides.
Oh, yes, they do.
The Bloodthirsters are angry. So the Bloodthirsters have charged in, engaging the Librarian, both squads of tactical Marines, leaving a gap for the Dark Apostle who wants to join the party. He needs a 5.
They're Bloodletters, by the way.
I can replace them with... What did I say?
You said Bloodthirster.
Are they meaner?
Well, I can replace them with Bloodthirsters if you like. I might have to go buy a few more, though. All right.
Yep,
yes.
He gets in. And you're also going to charge with the Greater Possessed over here. I can't see you for Overwatch, but it's a 10-inch charge for this Greater Possessed to take on this Sergeant.
For the Dark Gods! No.
And then the last charge was the Mauler Fiend into the Tactical Marines around here. I didn't do any damage on Overwatch. Should we start over here? I don't have any command points to interrupt, and the camera's facing this way.
Why not?
So Terry has got 4 attacks with his Mauler Fists. I keep forgetting his name.
Stompy.
Stompy. He's trying
Terry, honestly.
Trying to make more jam. 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. He's angry. 3 hits get through. Wounding on 2s. strength 12.
Yeah, it's 2s with the fists.
-3, so I need 6s. No, that worked. 3 of them are dead, and then 7 attacks with the lasher tendrils coming in, hitting on 4s. Oh, 1 hit floor. 3 hits get through. This is 3s to wound now. -2, 2 damage. So 2 wounds. I need to make 2 5-ups to keep one of those tactical marines alive. I make one of the 5-ups, keeping one of the tactical marines alive. It is very important. It stops you piling into the dreadnought. Then after that assault, we come all the way over here to this assault, which is going to get interesting because obviously not every single one of these bloodletters can fight. Such a parking lot. They're all scrambling over each other to get to the soft meat. But first, the Dark Apostle is going to strike, hitting with the Cursed Crozius, this fabled relic. He hits on 2s. And he re-rolls. He doesn't need to re-roll. This is strength +2, so he's wounding on 3s. And you re-roll fail wounds with this weapon as well, which you didn't need to. It's -2, D3 damage a time, so I need 5s for this tactical squad. And 2 of them fall to the Cursed Crozius. Right, so Sorcerer Dave has decided what he's doing. Because there's more than 20 of them, they're hitting on 2s instead of 3s. There's 10 attacks coming into this unit of 3. And because they're Khorne, instead of strength 4, they're strength 5. So hitting on 2s and wounding on 3s. And this is AP -3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
6 plus saves.
Yeah, -3. Right, that squad is dead. And then 6 going in at the librarian. There's only 6 that you could make through. Hitting on 2s.
Ah, that's not very good.
Only 2 hits. Now he's strength 5 on toughness 5. Might of Heroes is still in effect. The librarian may live. 2 wounds get through. 2 6s. Yes, he takes 2 wounds, but he's alive on 2 wounds left. And then
one of those was a 6 to wound.
Right.
Which means that does 2 damage.
Does it?
Yes.
He's alive on 1 wound left. And then we've got 4, so 8 attacks coming into this remaining unit of 2 here. And they died. It looks like this. Now my librarian strikes back, and he hits only twice and wounds twice. 2 5-up demon saves on your demons, sir. And you lose 2 of them. Now, interestingly enough, you always take a morale test, and you've got a banner. And on a 1, reality blinks, and you can add those 2 back in again. Even though you're going to pass morale, you never skip the morale phase. So roll a 1, and you get them back again.
No.
6, no.
The one time you don't want to roll a 6.
Yeah. And that is the end of your turn. Oh, no. My sergeant can hit Terry back again. Hitting on 3s.
Stompy.
Wounding on 5s. I don't do any wounds to Stompy.
Terry's the Turbigon.
He's leadership 9, and he holds firm. Now that is the end of Wordbearers turn 3. They have broken through. I've got some Terminators and a Dreadnought and some Tactical Marines over here. These 2 sergeants who lost their squads around them won't need to take morale tests because they're sergeants and they know no fear. And Librarian Keys is down to 1 wound left, facing a swarm of demons. There are demons on the face of the sea. What, if anything, can the 13th do? Let's find out in Space Marines turn 3. Here we are after the 13th movement phase. The battle continues. Librarian Keys did not fall out of combat. There's far too many bloodletters facing him down, so if he must die, then he will die screaming the Emperor's name. The 2 sergeants break cover, step round, and level their melter guns into the obliterators. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Cassius stands still. He's gonna use these intercessors to fire as many rounds in as he can. 1 unit of Terminators coming to engage the possessed. Chaplain Snow coming in to destroy Terry with the unit of Terminators. And the Space Marine sergeants fell back. So let's go on to the psychic phase. Let's start over here. I'm going to smite the demon, which passes and does 1 mortal wound to them, and then Might of Heroes on myself, which passes, which gives them that extra attack. Onto the shooting phase, Sergeant fires at the obliterators and hits and wounds. Can they make a 5-up demon save, invulnerable save? No, they can't. 2d6 at this range. 1 of them's dead. The other sergeant fires a gun and misses. Over here to the Terminators, the Cyclone missile launcher is going to slam into the Obliterators on 4s. They both find their mark. Wound on 3s. One of them wounds. -2, so you have a 4-up save on your Obliterator, sir.
Alright.
No. Fail to save it. This does d6 damage as the missile explodes and injures one but doesn't take it out. And the bolt gun fire is going to slam into the Possessed, which hits on 3s and wounds on 4s. 4 3-up saves. One of them was wounded, so he succumbs to his injuries. So coming back over here to the Intercessors, now I should really fire at the Cultists, hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s, re-rolling. But one of those Obliterators is down to 2 wounds left. So let's stand still, which I did. So maximum range. Firing twice, hitting on 3s into the Obliterators. 4 shots find the mark. Winning on 5s. 2 wounds at -1, so 2 3-up saves. Then the Terminators fired at the Mauler Fiend, and Snow took 2 more wounds off of him. Now honoured brother Matthias is going for the glory shot to try and kill these 2 Obliterators.
I want him to do it. This is the time.
They've been devastating, these guys.
This is the time. Matthias living up to his reputation, hopefully. I hope I haven't jinxed you now. Sorry about that.
No, just to confirm, you didn't want to bring Marcus Lanesh because you're Chaos Undivided, and I made you do it. I regret nothing. Matthias will kill them. 3s to hit with the las cannon, both hit. 3s to wound with the las cannons. 1 wound, 1 5-up, invulnerable save, sir.
Okay. Dark gods, protect me. Yes, they do.
That's a 6. The Dark Gods protect. Missile launcher hits. Wounds. Now you need a 4-up invulnerable save because this is -2. Will the Dark Gods protect you twice?
Perhaps. I believe in the powers. No.
No. D6 damage. One's on 2 wounds. Just don't roll a 1. Yes. One of them explodes in a shower of filth and metallic bits. Then we moved on to the charge phase. Both of the sergeants made it into this squad of cultists. You did get some hits on Overwatch with the Flamer, but I made my save. And then Snow and the champion and the Terminators managed to get in against Terry. And then let's roll this charge on camera. It's a 9 to get into the Master of Possessed and the Possessed over there. And that's an 8. Right, let's fight. Starting off the fight phase, let's start with the Terminators punching, what's his name? Stompy. I'm hitting on 4s with Power Fists. And I'm re-rolling because there's a Chaplain. More importantly, Chaplain Snow. And wounding on 3s with Power Fists. 6 wounds, 6 5-up invulnerable saves.
I'm going to make at least 1. If I want even a chance of living.
6 wounds left. The Dark Gods do not protect you. That's a minimum 6 wounds, potentially 18. Stompy's dead.
Very.
Does he go kaboom?
I hope so.
I hope not. No. Stompy just crumples, much like the Venom Crawler before him. Now we're across to these charging units here. First, the Sergeant with the Chainsword hits twice and wounds twice. 2 wounds on cultists. Nope. And then the Power Fist hits once and kills another. That's 3 dead. That's all the charging units. Then we're across the Librarian Keys with Might of Heroes, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s and wounding on 3s. And he smites 4 of the demons. Demonic saves of 5-up. He smites 3 of the demons. Well done, Keys. That's 4 dead this turn. And then the Bloodletters drag down Captain Keys. And meanwhile over here, the cultists tear apart those 2 sergeants as well. Now that is the end of turn 3. The 13th are reduced to this footprint in the corner and those Terminators over there. However, I've severely hurt you too. We've got some morale tests to take. We've got these cultists first. And they're fine.
5, yep.
And you lost 4 in this Bloodletter bomb. 2 + 4 is fine. They hold firm as well. Their blood is up. Blood for the Blood God. Skulls for the Skull Throne. So we're about to go on to word Bearer's turn 4. Now, these are possessed. He's got a demon in it. He's got basically lots of demons and demon engines and possessed creatures over here. We've got some normal people, some cultists. I hate to say normal. They're word bearers. But they haven't got any demons in them yet. They're just praying and hoping that they get some demons in them.
They are some very misguided souls.
And then the ex-commissar holding on to this 3-point power generator, frantically slapping melter charges onto it.
That's definitely what he's doing. He's not cowering in fear at all.
No, he's achieving his objective. Again, one of the only quote-unquote normal people on the word bearer's force, because we have bloodletters over here. So with many demons, with the warp thin, with the face of the sea under peril. Let's go on to word bearer's turn 4. Here we are after the word bearer's movement phase. They move in for the kill. The Dark Apostle moving along with the bloodletters he summoned in. Charging down the corridor next to the throbbing primary generator. The cultists, having taken down or sacrificed those 2 tactical sergeants, fancy themselves against the intercessors. The obliterator standing still, and we have the possessed and the greater possessed in the middle advancing. However, the demon and the other greater possessed didn't advance because they fancy charging these terminators. And talk about fancy charging terminators. Possessed, greater possessed, master of possession, and the dreadnought are all in range of Chaplain Snow and his honour guard of terminators.
Yes, I'd like our little foreign exchange student here to kill something in close combat today. So
the World Eater's dreadnought, who's been painted red and is very, very angry. Hasn't had a chance to punch anything yet. Maybe he will now. Let's go on to the psychic phase. Demon Prince casting Prescience on the Obliterator one more time. Needs a 7. And finally it fails. Now is the Master of Possessed smiting? We're doing something different. So the Master of Possessed is casting Possession, which gets his AP up. But if he kills Snow in close combat, he will turn him into a spawn.
Yes.
So
it's unlikely, but I must entertain the possibility.
Yes. So let's see if it goes off. And it goes off. And now you're going to smite.
Yes.
And that goes off for D3 mortal wounds on the Terminators. And one of them falls. Here we are partway into the shooting phase because you've got very few guns. The cultists firing at the intercessors and the soul burners from the contemptor firing at the intercessors, only doing 1 wound. And there were some other shots going into the Terminators which bounced. Now it's just the Obliterator left to fire. Where are you firing, sir?
I'm going to fire at those Terminators over there that are bodyguarding Snow.
Yep. Okay. Let's roll for the strength.
Okay.
9.
9. Okay. AP. -3.
-3. Lovely.
And damage.
Please be damage 1.
Important
Please
bit,
be damage 1. No, it's maxed out. Strength 9. -3. 3 damage a time. Only 6 shots though, and you failed your prescience for once.
Did indeed.
So 3's to hit.
Either, so.
Yeah, first time he's not buffed to max, and the first time he's got all of his maximum guns. Clearly those guns are warmed up. And 5 of them hit anyway. Wounding on 2s.
Okay.
And they all wound. He didn't need the help this time round. 5 up Crux Terminatus. Every failed save is a dead Terminator. 3 of them fall. 1 of them stands shoulder to shoulder with Snow and Matthias. So straight into the charge phase. The Dreadnought declared the charge first, eating the Overwatch. No damage done. It's 11 inches to get into these 2 now. Good luck.
Blood for the blood god.
Close, but no cigar. Then the Possessed declared a charge, saved all the wounds on Overwatch, 5-inch charge to engage Snow, 6 inches on the Terminator. You declared them both though.
Yep.
He's in.
I could have used that a minute ago.
And it's a 7 inches for the greatest Possessed, so he's trying to come in. Sorry, he makes it in, and the Master of Possessed needs a 7. You really want to get in there. You've passed your psychic power. You could potentially turn Snow into a spawn. Ain't going to happen.
This is the one I'm excited about, so...
7s.
No.
Right.
It's not to be.
Now we're going to go over here to some Demon Princes versus some Terminators. Do you want to roll the charge range, see if you can get in there?
Sure.
Then I'll do the Overwatch.
No.
Oh dear. Let's do the missile launchers on camera. I've got that in my hand. 1 hits. And wounds. 5 up and vulnerable save.
Oh dear. That's for a run.
Did manage to take a wound off that demon with Stormbolt of Fire. The Greater Possessed didn't declare a charge. And then the cultist declared a charge into the intercessors over here. I heroically intervened with my lieutenant, cut one down as they came charging in. Now we're on to the fight phase. Where do you want to start?
I think we're going to start
with the main event.
Yeah, I think.
Greater Possessed and Baby Possessed.
Indeed.
Everything into snow, or are you going to try and kill the Terminator first?
Everything into snow.
Oh, nice. Okay, so he has 5 attacks. The Greater Possessed, he hits on 2s. 4 hits, and he'll wound on 3s. And I need to make my Rosarius saves of 4 up. And I make 2 of them. D3 damage. For 3, it was a critical wound. Iron Resolve, I ignore wounds on 6s. He takes 2 wounds. And then the Possessed has D3 attacks on the turn it comes in, which is 3. He's hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s because the Great Possessed stood next to him. And these are -2. So a 4 up and a 5 up. Snow has taken 3 wounds. From this fight, we went to the cultists, who crazily charged into the intercessors, dragging one of them down. Then the intercessors and the lieutenant struck back and killed 3 of them. So they lost quite a chunk in this fight. Now we're going back over here to Chaplain Snow and the Terminator. The Terminator will strike down the Greater Possessed on 4s, rerolling to hit. And he's strength 8, so 3s to wound, because you're toughness 5. 2 wounds, 2 5-up demon saves. You make 1. D3 damage, 2 damage, and Snow will put all of his attacks into him. He hits on 2s, and he's strength 5 with a Crozius. 1 wound. -1, so a 4-up save.
Okay.
Which you fail.
No.
And that does a flat 2 damage, but it's still alive on 1 wound left. It's the end of turn 4. Now we've got morale on this Terminator. And he lost 4, but he takes Chaplain Snow's leadership because he stood next to him. So that's leadership 9. He's okay. And then over here you lost 5 cultists. And 1 more runs away. Oh no, 5 plus, that's 8. Their leadership 6. The last 2 run away.
Flee! The gods have abandoned us!
Or they found a nice parchment just behind them and they're going to pick it up. Right, that's the end of your turn 4. I have a Tactical Marine, a Terminator, Chaplain Snow, a Dreadnought, and some Intercessors left, and my Lieutenant. Oh, and these Terminators around here, I found more Marines. It's not over yet. The 13th will fight to the bitter end. It's gone to Space Marines turn 4. The 13th fall back and lower their bolt guns. Chaplain Snow and the Terminator stay locked up in combat, though there's no way he's taking a step backwards. Let's go on to the shooting phase. We're going to start off with Matthias trying to kill this Dreadnought. Las cannons. 1 hit. 1 wound. 5 up and vulnerable save, sir.
Nope.
No, D6 damage. For 5. And a missile launcher. Hits and wounds. 5 up and vulnerable save.
Do they have a 2-up save, Contemptors?
No, 3 up. No, D6 damage, and if I roll a 5, that's a dead Contemptor. I rolled a 6, that's a dead Contemptor, and Contemptors go boom on a 5.
Oh dear.
Kaboom. Right, we double checked, they do go kaboom on a 6. Imperium Contemptors go boom on a 5. And interestingly, if it had blown up, Psychers within 3 inches take D6 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
And there's a Master of Possession stood right next to it. That could have been painful.
It could have been.
Anyway, well done, Matthias. Dreadnought on Dreadnought action, and he wins, which, interestingly enough, leaves your Master of Possession the closest target to my Intercessors. So let's fill in with Holy Bolt Rifle Fire. 3s to hit, and 4s to wound. 3 wounds get through at -1, so 3 4-up saves on your Master of Possession.
Alright. Saved. Saved. Failed.
Takes a wound. Cass has swapped his bolt pistol for a sword, so he still has his mastercrafted bolt gun, which hits on 3s and wounds on 4s. Interesting, that would have done 2 damage at -1, 2 damage. I was hoping. Right, that's it. Oh, over here. I kept the cyclone missile launcher still on purpose. So I'm hitting on 3s against your demon, which is the closest thing to it as well. And I hit twice. I will wound that demon on 3s. Die, demon, die. 2 5-up invulnerable saves. You make 1, and I take 1 wound off of it. Now I'm going to fill you with storm bolters. After rolling the hit and win, I scored 6 wounds. 6 3-up saves, sir. I take a wound off the demon, and now we're going to charge. There's a charge from the Terminators into the demon. They succeed their charge. Lieutenant into the Master of Possession. He fails. I am going to put the yes, I am. They will make it. Bolt pistol fires out on my lieutenant, however, which hits on 6. I see the dice in your hand.
Yeah, just got to overwatch with the bolt pistol, which misses.
And then the sergeant over here will join this combat. He definitely gets him. Right, starting the Terminators, he's within an inch. These 2 guys are within an inch. That demon's on 6 wounds left.
5, actually.
5 wounds left. 4s to hit with fists. Only 2 get through. 3s to wound, but they both wound. So 2 5-up demonic saves. Does the power of the warp protect you?
Perhaps his patron will protect him today.
Yes,
possibly,
he does.
Yeah.
D3 damage. He's down to 2 wounds left, but he's still alive. Charging units go first, so we're on to the Intercessors versus your Master of Possession, who's taken a wound. 3s to hit, and 4s to wound. I do a wound to the Master of Possession.
Yep, save. Saves.
And then we're across to the Sergeant with his chainsword hitting the Greater Demon, and he rerolls, Greater Possessed, rerolls all failed rolls, hit rolls because of the Chaplain stood next to him. He'll win on a 5. He wounds. Is this the last wound off the Greater Possessed?
No.
No. Then after all charging units, the active player picks a unit already engaged in combat. Now I should pick the Terminator to punch the Greater Possessed, but I'm going to use Snow instead. I want him to take his head. 2s to hit. Re-rolling because he's a chaplain. Oh no. 5s to wound. 4s to wound. 1 wound gets through.
5-up save?
Yep. Oh, 4-up save, sorry.
Oh, doesn't matter either way.
He takes 2 wounds. Right, Sorcerer Dave is picking the Master of Possession, who's picking on the Intercessors. Rolling the hit with 4 attacks. Hitting on 3s or 2s?
Hitting on 3s.
Okay. Death to the False Emperor.
Ah, thank you.
5 hits. It's strength +1, so he's winning on 3s. Or 2 or something. It's AP minus 2? It was
yes.
-2. D3 damage a time.
AP -1, actually.
Need 5s. You do get 3 through. D3 damage each time. So on the first guy, dead. Second guy, he's dead. The Master of Possession takes out the Intercessors. Then he consolidates forward. Now we're on to the Terminator, who's going to hit the Baby Possessed. For 2 reasons. He hasn't fought yet, and Snow wants this kill. 4s to hit. 2s to wound. 2 5-up invulnerable saves to keep the Baby Possessed alive. And he survives. Oh no.
I defy you,
Right.
servant of the corpse god.
You get to fight back. So D3 attacks with the Baby Possessed. Are you putting them all on Snow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. Death to the False Emperor.
I'll remember one day,
Okay.
I swear.
They both hit. Wounding on 3s. And this is -2 AP. He takes another wound unless my Iron Resolve holds. No, it doesn't. Snow's down to 2 wounds left. Now we can do the Greater Possessed, who has 5 attacks and he hits on 2s.
Yes, he does.
No death to the False Emperors, but he will wound on 3s. 2 get through. Snow's on 2 wounds left. Each of these will do D3 damage. I save on 4s. So 1 gets through doing D3 damage.
Okay.
For 3. 6. Iron Resolve saves.
Classic Snow.
Chaplain Snow falls.
Oh no, I thought he was... You got 3 left.
No, because he did 1.
Oh,
and Snow collapses, we're going to do a flash of the teleport homer thing as he disappears back to the battle barge. Then we came across to the Demon Prince, who only slew one of the Terminators, made many, many Crux Terminatus saves. Now we're going on to Wordbearer's turn 5. And at the end of Wordbearer's turn 5, we had Greater Possessed joining in with the Demon Princes and tearing down the Terminators. Then over here, the Greater Possessed and Baby Possessed teared down the Tactical Marine and my last remaining Terminator. And the Master of Possession charged in against my Lieutenant and only put one wound on him. Meanwhile, the Lieutenant dueled him back, took another wound off the Master of Possession. And that is the end of Wordbearer's turn 5. And then in my turn 5, Lieutenant Crassus and Honoured Brother Matthias turn and quit the field, leaving the atmospheric processes in control of the Wordbearers. And this is the way the face of the sea ends. The void around the mass transport conveyor is aflame. Torpedoes and macro cannons fill the blackness. Meanwhile, an insidious Word-Bearers Legion force infiltrated the mass transport conveyor, the face of the sea. They attacked the bridge and were pushed back. They attacked the reactors and were pushed back, but those were just a feint. And instead they managed to take over the atmospheric processes and poison these. And within 6 hours, 500,000 people die. And within the next 6 hours, another 100,000, 200,000 people die. The remaining civilians will manage to survive by grabbing hold of respirators and HAPA devices and locking themselves inside the hab blocks and chapels and auxiliary points. So with 75% of the civilians on board the transport conveyor consumed, the Word-Bearers have completed their mission. A great sacrifice has been offered up to Chaos Undivided. And we've decided that this fight is not over. Because this is narrative changing. This is meta changing for my Legion. So I demand a rematch, sir. And I demand to find out how this narrative continues. So thank you very much for that. How did it go for you?
A few turns ago I felt legitimately a little bit bad, but you got some really good licks in towards the end there, which I feel less bad about it now. But
why bad? Why'd you feel bad?
Because
I
deep down I like the 13th, and it kind of sucks to see them lose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am elated that my Word-Bearers have finally won a game of 8th edition.
Had they not won a game of 8th edition before?
Never. Their win-to-loss ratio right now is about 6 losses to 1 win.
Okay.
So,
and Obliterators made all the difference.
yes, huge difference.
They're too expensive, says the internet. No, put prescience on them, put endless cacophony on them, which I made you do. Mm-hmm. And they were absolutely brutal. In one turn of shooting, they destroyed the Centurions, they destroyed a Contemptor. In another turn of shooting, wiped out some Hammonators with 3 up invulnerable shields back there, or hurt them. Killed this unit down here with their shields.
Yeah.
They were, and I like the fact that you put them in the middle. One, it could reach out and touch everything around them, but I was looking in the various turns to try and drop Terminators in close enough to try and get the charge off and shut them down. Yeah. But I wasn't able to because they were well cocooned.
That was a concern. They're less random than I thought they'd be, which is good, I think, because previously they were very random. But I have to admit, you've got to orchestrate it properly. You've got to get enough threat out there in people's faces.
Yep.
Because otherwise, when you saw when you did start shooting them with some big weapons, they crumpled very quickly.
Yeah, but that toughness 5 and extra wound made all the save for most of the firepower. For example, I didn't bother putting bolt gun fire into them, whereas I did bother into all your Terminators.
True.
Well, regardless of how the narrative went, I really enjoyed myself because I got to fight with the 13th and the narrative is evolving, it's continuing, it's a living story. So, more thoughts?
The only one is, well, a couple. One is, I'm still a little bit disappointed I didn't get to turn someone into a spawn.
Yeah, you're really trying at the end. We played that one out off camera there to see if you could turn the Lieutenant into a spawn.
In chaosy fashion, I think he would have preferred, he almost preferred the battle to have been lost, but for him to have successfully created a new spawn.
To be his little puppy, follow him around.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of a shame. That was a fun thing I was hoping would happen, but didn't. And the other thing is just, well, yeah, next time we do this, I might have to bring some interesting people along with my army, because I feel like this little accomplishment here might have attracted the attention of the higher ups in the Legion.
Samus is here. Samus is the beginning and the end. Samus is your death and your doom. Interesting. Chaplain Snow failed to perform in this battle, and honoured brother Matthias didn't do too well at the start, but by the end his guns were running hot, so at least one of my heroes did. So we will retreat, we will lick our wounds, we will rearm and we will refuel, and we will follow up with the fight of the Word Bearers versus the 13th on deploymentzone.tv. You're coming down in a month's time or so, or 6 weeks' time, and we've already agreed that we've got to find out how this narrative continues. So to check that one out, more Sorcerer Day versus Winters, that's going to be on deploymentzone.tv. I guess there is an old warrior needs to join the fight, because honoured brother Sol Garrow, well, he was kicking it around the time of the Horus Heresy. He was at the Whisperheads. He's heard Samus's voice before.
He has.
Maybe the reason why Samus has been drawn to this place is because he knows who Sol Garrow is, and there is an old grudge to settle. Anyway, looking forward to that fight. This one was awesome. This battle map brought to you by Hot Dice Miniatures. All this terrain brought to you by GameMat.eu. Sorcerer Dave brought to you by a car.
Yes.
Thank you for coming down. We hope everyone enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.